Gonna diagnose this little PW right here. Yeah. First thing you want to do, clean it off and find out where there's other problems. This thing sat for probably 14 years. Last time it was rode. Took the High Point National. What's up? So we got to bring it back to life. And this is what we use right here. Okay, now after we wash that sumbee, you need a good place to put it. What better than a tire stand? Put this thing in my back pocket probably if I wanted. You get it, it's wet, you want to get your air and you want to dry it off. So proceed to dry off all the electrical parts. You see all the electrical down in here? Da da da. All those connectors. Da da da. Yeah, you want to get that dried off. If you've got hard water, you want to make sure you get it out of there quick. Alright, we're back. Got it all blown off with air. Want to go over some quick safety concerns when you're pressure washing. Don't get your hand too close. Understand that? Anyway, get your tools ready. Got my 1/4-inch rack right here. Got my quick cordless 1/4-inch screw gun. Snap-on. I definitely recommend getting one of those. You want your blue Loctite and you want a tray, put all your parts in. That's important. Alright, this guy said he puts ether in here and it runs, so first you want to do, get off the air filter. Looks real good in there. Definitely clean that. Anytime you pressure wash a bike, it's going to get water on your air filter. Water and oil do not mix. These are oil soaked air filters. Another quick heads up, big bikes like that one, you have to mix the oil with the gas. This has an oil injection line. See this little line right here? Doot, 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 doot. Pumps oil right into the carburetor. As you throttle up, it gives it more oil. So obviously we're going to get to this carburetor right here. Big bikes usually have a rubber boot. This one does not. So you want to loosen up this screw right here. Get all your wires out of the way. That screw right there. And we're going to be able to turn this sideways so we can get to the bowl. And then we can get to the jets. And I'm pretty sure they're clogged from sitting so long, so we're going to get in there, take those jets out and blow them out with air, make sure there's no dirt or anything in there, spray it out with some good Berryman B12, put her back together, get some gas flowing in there, and we'll make sure that the float's working and whatnot, and then we'll go from there. Okay, very important about these PWs, they have this little tiny seal that goes right in here. When you pull out this carburetor, it's going to fall on the ground, just like this just happened to me. That's why we have this right here. Invest in some of this. Best carburetor cleaner you can buy. Okay, another real quick thing, you want to take the hose off the petcock. Don't take it off the carb, take it off the petcock. I'm going to show you later. So you can test your float by blowing into this and making sure that it's got a good seal. So once you get it off, you want to turn it on its side, and we want to take this bottom float bowl off. That's where all the jets are and the float, and that's what stores your fuel. If it's not storing fuel, it's not going to blow it into the intake and you're not going to go anywhere. So that's the problem this guy's having. Before you crack open this bowl, you better make sure it's clean. I just used about a half a can of Berryman's B12 on it. Still got a couple little spots. One little grain of dirt is going to ruin your whole day of riding. Another quick tip, put something in the intake just for precaution. A little rag right there. Alright, we're going to take this bowl off. Be right back. Okay, it wasn't that easy, but this thing's been sitting there for a while. Can you see that? Boom. Pretty dirty in there. Let's take a look in here. This jet right here, that's your main jet. That comes off on only about 1/2 to 3/4 throttle. That's when that sucker starts kicking in. Usually it's your primary jet way down in there. Can't really tell. Right next to it right there, primary. There's your float. Now we're going to clean this out. We're going to take off that main jet Need a little tiny screwdriver down in there and get that primary jet out of there. We'll clean those out and make sure they're all good. Real quick, this hole right here, you want to make sure it blows everything out of the bottom. Okay, it's important. Let's see here. See that? You want to make sure this is clean. This hole is straight up clogged. See that squirt out? If you don't see that, make sure you get it till you do see that. You should see light through that main jet. No light. That is what you call a clogged main jet. Okay, you're gonna need something to poke through this thing. So what I got here is a welding tip file. See that? Obviously you see that I'm not getting down to the file part of it. I'm just breaking it through. You can use anything, guitar string, I don't know, fishing line. When your old lady's stiff butt hairs, I don't care what you use. Anything that's not abrasive, because you're going to oversize this jet. It's going to run rich. Bigger the jet, the richer your fuel's going to run. So this thing is really gummed up, so I'm going to have to work on it. Can you see the size of that hole? Every main jet is numbered. And if you look at that, I believe that's a 70. You see that little tiny hole? A flea's shit could block that. So that thing is tiny. You want to make sure you get everything out, because if there's just a little bit in there and it allows fuel to go through, it'll lean it out. So the smaller the hole, the leaner. That's bad, burning holes and pistons and all that. So richer is always better. You're not going to burn a hole in your piston, but you're not going to get no power out of it. So it's a happy medium. Little tiny hole in there. That thing was clogged. That thing is small. Now you thought the main was small? Look at this little tiny bastard. I don't even have a welding tip file that small. That's insane. Clogged. See no light. That's why I got this paper down there so you can see light through. I got one of the old lady's stiff butt hairs. No, kidding. You don't have nothing that small? Just get some wire, fold it back, and got a little tiny pinhole just like that. This wire's real small, and it ought to fit. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, success. I'm gonna clean this out, and then I'm gonna show you what that little pinhole looks like. See that freaking little hole right there? I know you see it. Yeah. I think a baby flea shit could fucking clog that one. Insane. Oh yeah, and by the way, these are numbered too. Gotta be Superman to see it though. Alright, go ahead and take this carb off when we want to get all these screws out, these jets. If you don't have a manual, back to this. If you don't have a manual, just count the screws. We got 1, 2, about 2 1/4. That's 2, it's 2 1/4. Just lightly bottom it. You don't want to mess up the seat. And then just take it out and clean this out. Alright, when you put these slides back in, you want to put some oil on your finger, get them all lubed up. You want these things not to stick on you. 2-stroke oil. It's a 2-stroke bike. Okay, here's that little seal I told you about you want to watch out for. And make sure this is really clean. I just cleaned it with B12 Chem Tool. Make sure that's all good. You want to put that little booger right there. Exactly what you want to look like, just like so. And we're going to drop this carb in there. Boom. And when you get this carb on there, you want to make sure it's fully seated. You want to make sure your float bowl is level. Look at it from here, look at it from there. Make sure that puppy's level. Always check that air filter. Went to clean this one, it just fell apart. So I know you guys are probably interested, what does that look like? Well, this is what it looks like. There's the intake. There's the dirty dirt that the filter filters out. And that's the intake for the carb. The back part. There goes a screw. Obviously you want to clean that stuff out. Get a new filter. They even make them anymore. Alright, on to the next. Which is, just give you a quick preview of this. Click this on to start. Fires right up, no problem. Give it the run. Runs great. You want to make sure you check this injection line right here. Make sure it's pumping. You can pull up on this cable like this and get it to pump oil in there. The higher the RPM, the more this pump works. Pumps oil in there. Before you do all that, make sure you put some two-stroke oil in this tank. We want to see some smoke come out of there. There it is. I can't see it, but there's smoke. What a two-stroke's supposed to look like. If you don't see smoke coming out of that, stop the engine, put some oil in the tank, and then check your oil injection line. This is this line right here. It goes to the pump. You take this cable out, like I said, you can pull it up and down while this hose is off, and make sure you see it pumping oil out of that hose. Really important, make sure you put some oil in here. It's better to run it rich than not run it at all. Alright. Make sure this air box is clean, blow it out with air, get a rag in there with a screwdriver, I don't care how you do it, get this clean. There's the other side. Looks good, right? And you after wiping it out, blow it out with air, make sure all the little particles and debris out of there. Anytime you have a project, make sure you have extra bolts. If you don't have one of these kits, get one. Ta-da, okay? This is just a universal kit, but we have one over here specifically for the YZ. Alright, yeah, they got them for cowies, everything. Whenever you ride, make sure you have one of these kits. Out of this kit, that closes all by itself. We got these 3 bolts right here. If you can see real quick, this has a Phillips, a long one, and something he probably found on the ground in his garage. And we're going to put some fresh stuff in here, and of course we're going to use the almighty blue Loctite. Now in case you guys get stuck on this intake, see that little notch right there? Just line that up and it'll go right on. Alright, this puppy's back together. Just a quick heads up. Bikes love WD-40. Oh man, it looks real neat when you're done. WD-40 stands for water displacement. It took them 40 times to make it. Keep that water off, and man, the dirt comes right off when you wash it. And it looks beautiful when you clean it up. Wipe it on down, spray this whole damn bike with it. Alright. Got drum brakes, so we don't even have to worry about getting the brakes oil soaked. That's one thing you want to watch out for the big bikes. You want to be spraying WD on your rotors. Coming to that turn hot, you ain't going to slow down. Now how does that look? That looks freaking sweet. Oh yeah, it's like a freaking brand new bike. Speaking of brakes, drum brakes here, real easy. Just spin it. See how it spins? This thing is so easy to do. See how it's tight? Click one back. Still rubbing. Click one back. Still rubby. Still a little bit of rubby, but we want to be a little bit rubby. When we grab these brakes, boop. That's what we want to see. Boop. Got the future of our sport riding this thing, so we got to keep him intact. That's right. Rear looks pretty good. You guys are probably wondering where's the chain on this. Well, it's shaft driven right here. Boop, boop. Just like a car, it's got a drive shaft. It feels pretty good. Yep, looking good, looking real good. Everybody asked me, what are you going to use that for? Well, see this little piece right here? It just so happens it fits right in there. Pushes out this little tiny petcock filter, which I've already pulled out and cleaned. It was dirty. It wasn't getting enough fuel. So, let me see what kind of tool I use right here. And when it's all said and done, this is what you want to hear. Yeah, back in business. And when it's all said and done, look at the piston. See that little hole right there? Not quite a hole yet, but it's on its way. You want to tell whoever you're working on, or if you're working on your own, it's ready for a top end. Sooner or later, that little crater right there, it's going to burn a hole in the piston, and you're going to have no compression. So definitely want to tell your customer that, or whoever you're working on or whatever, ready for a top end. Alright, this ends that project. It's back and ready for our future racers. Alright, you guys got any comments or whatever, leave them, because I'm going to be doing a lot of more tutorials after this, and I hope this one benefited all our future racers and dads that work on their bikes. Late.